Welcome back to the Uncaged podcast. It is Andy. This is episode 26. Today is going to be all about breaking free from the comfort zones, which I believe is the true addiction that we must face and overcome. Purely because if we don't, it's always going to be something that's going to hold you back because you're going to choose the comfort over the temporary discomfort of potentially growing into the person you want to become and achieving what you want in life. So let's get the rant on. Now, when I talk about these things today, just remember, I'm talking to the people that want change beyond where they are. They're sick of the constant looping of cycles where they're stuck in the same old, and they just can't seem to break out of it. So if you're happy where you are, some of the things that I say today might not resonate at all. So I wouldn't recommend listening to this or watching this if you're watching it, purely because I'm trying to provoke those who are stuck so you can hurry up and get going, so you can feel amazing, achieve the goals that you want to achieve. And the truth can hurt when you're in that stage of comfort zone, when in the back of your mind you've got all these goals, all these aspirations that you want to achieve. All right, my first topic is going to be to stop lying to yourself. When you say you want change, but you never choose it, let's say you always go back to the old comforts because who knows, you might actually do really well. But when you choose the comfort over the thing that you want every time, there's a story that you're buying into that you've created, which becomes a habit. And then you'll always see the comfort zone as the safest option, which I understand. However, that is the same old. Nothing changes in that comfort zone. And we have to understand the story that we have in place that keeps us in that loop, keeps us choosing the same outcome every time. Because when you have something that you want and desire in your heart, the last thing that you want is for it to become something that stays in the back burner and then teeters off into nothing. So then you start to settle, and then your life routine moving forward is without that goal. And maybe, if you're lucky, later in life, it reignites for you. But if we always lie to ourselves and we say things like, I want to be feeling more peaceful, but you'll never take the time to sit still, maybe breathe, maybe meditate, so that you can find that calm zone. If you have anxiety, things like this, you'll never reach it because you didn't do the work to do it. So saying that you want it is a lie because you will never meet your actions with your desire. And it is all about that when it comes to this. The truth beyond the lie of the old stories is really to know what you want and then to align your actions to those things. That way, it's not just a one-sided game. You can want all you want, but without the action, that's not going to happen. But when you have action that aligns with your wanting, with that desire of the outcome, whatever it may be for you, mate, things move really fast, and you'll be so surprised that because you faced it and understood, okay, I want this, and I've got all these roadblocks, but that doesn't mean anything. The story is I'm going to try regardless, and I'm going to meet my actions in alignment with that thing that I want. And everything starts to kick in fast. Momentum has your back. And then all you have to do in that moment is to keep your actions aligned every day. Like I said, I've said this so many times, and I actually said it a lot this week. Motivation's the beginning, which is what I'm trying to give you. Maybe some inspiration. But the biggest takeaway is the discipline, because that is beyond motivation. You're going to have days where you are trying your hardest to align your actions to that goal and you don't believe in yourself. You can't be bothered. You're tired. There's other things in life, so you will put it on the back burner. We don't want to do this. In those hard moments, we still have to get up and focus on the discipline it takes to make it happen. Otherwise, you know the outcome. And on to the next part, which is discipline itself is not a toxic trait or toxic in any way. If you really think about it, let's use something like true self-love is not doing nothing, where you just do nothing and lounge around. I'm having a self-love moment. How long does that last? And imagine if you get stuck into a cycle of doing nothing. Oh, I just want to sit down and do nothing because I'm so busy all the time. Life is always going to have something there where you have to do it, you got to focus on it, there's distractions, blah, blah, blah. But if you're going to go for, let's say, that concept of the true self-love, wouldn't it make sense to do the things that you want in life and prove to yourself that you can, and teach yourself through aligning your actions that you can do it and that you are doing it and then you have achieved it? There is a feeling beyond anything else when you do something like that when you're not used to it. And that'd be the greatest gift that you can give yourself when you're trying to chase a better feeling. Get your actions in order so that you can find that feeling of feeling proud about yourself because you've gone out and finally broken free from the stories and from those comfort zones. And a lot of the time, people frame discipline as self-punishment. It is not the case at all. And if you haven't grasped this concept yet, discipline can sound like it's a punishment, but it is not. Sometimes we need to kick our own butt so that we stay on track and do the things that we want when we don't want to do it, but we really desire it. So wouldn't it make sense to push yourself, to give yourself the challenge, go beyond where you normally go in what it is that you're focusing on, so you can push the needle forward further, and then incrementally stacking the wins, continuously building that momentum. It doesn't need to stop. You can just keep it going, keep steering your focus to the next goal after you achieve the one you're chasing. And an interesting topic as well is the whole aspect of time, which it is not unlimited. Time is not unlimited, meaning the longer you lounge around, the longer you stay in comfort zones with these desires, like it's going to cycle through until the pain of not achieving those things is so great you might actually change, or you won't. I don't recommend that because you're going to end up stuck in that same position, wondering what the hell happened in life, and look, it's already almost Christmas. That's something that you do not want to have because it can be heavy. You can feel this like sense of urgency. So it doesn't mean that you can never relax. It means that every moment that you can, focus on changing what you do so you're not stuck lounging around wasting time. It's probably the biggest thing that I did in the past that I wish I changed earlier, even though that I've changed now. But for you, if you find that you waste a lot of time where you could be creating this thing that you so desperately want to try, just remember, if you go out and try something and you aren't good at it, you can get better through practice, and then you might achieve it. And when you achieve it, you can look around and find the next thing that excites you so that you can focus on the same process. Give it a go, learn something new, achieve it. Maybe something that excites you greatly that you've always wanted, and you can still go out and make that change and chase it. And it is the greatest feeling. Even, I'm sure, hearing these words, you know that it'll feel amazing. So sometimes we just need to swallow that hard pill of it might be challenging, but it's going to be awesome. And when you achieve it, it's even greater, and it'll give you so much confidence to keep up that same focus, chasing the things you want in life, making the most of the time and not wasting it. So think about all the things that I've talked about in previous episodes regarding cycles of habits that we've formed over time that keep us at bay and allow us to stay stagnant because we've created these situations of comfort to stay in a familiar state. But think about it, like I said, nothing grows from this stagnant state. It tranquilizes you into paralysis, which ends the idea of that ambition that you have inside you. When you get up and you actually go for it, heaps of things change in that action change. When you go forward and you finally step up and get off your butt and you focus on chasing something, learning something new, and trying to become this version of yourself that you've always wanted, you create better habits. You end the cycle of the comfort chasing, and you go for the challenge because you know that's where you grow the most. Doesn't mean, like I said, that you never get comfort again. Dude, after you've challenged yourself and you've earned something and you go and relax for a bit, that feels way better than when you constantly are doing it religiously. That comfort when you're there, that is what stops ambition if you stay there. And then you've got to restart, you've got to find motivation again, you've got to re-inspire yourself to get going again. So what I would recommend is understand that when you finally take that step, you're going to be building new habits that ignite the fire within you to a bloody furnace where you're literally always going for it. You're never backing yourself down and self-doubting your abilities. You will go forward constantly because you finally got up and did it. Yes, there are roadblocks along the way, more opportunity to grow. It's not something to retreat from. Failure is the greatest teacher, and we need it. We need it to get better. Otherwise, we're always going to be stagnant and never really knowing our true potential. And that, I feel like, is a waste. It's the greatest waste of life that we can actually have because we didn't just try. We didn't go out and give it a crack, regardless of what people say to you, what you think is possible. How do you know what's possible if you've never really, truly tried? Doesn't that make sense? You should be going out and giving everything a crack. Doesn't matter what it is. If it's important to you, know that everything is possible if you get up and give it a shot and keep pushing. Failures, we learn. Persistency. We're going to keep building new habits that propel us forward, growing our character. Sounds great to me. So if you're always waiting for motivation, some kind of sign to point you in the right direction, the right coach or guide, something like that, just think of this idea. What if you are the signal and the sign and the coach that you've been waiting for? Because you know what you don't want. You know it really well. But if we're perpetuating the same habit and accepting these things that occur in our life and don't take ownership for our own actions and choices, you'll always be stuck in the same spot. So my goal for you is to get up and give it a shot. Back yourself, man. Back yourself so that you can see the truth that you've always been able to do it and it's never been out of your reach. The only missing link has been you didn't try. And that's something you don't want to go to bed at the end of the day with, knowing that you've just wasted another day because you know how that feels already. So get up, plan, focus. I've got many episodes previous to this that focus on how to do the blueprint and how to have the steps to chase this goal or the version of yourself. And remember, along the way, yes, you will have to face all of the old programs and habits. But I have this idea, and I've practiced this myself and recognized it along my own journey, that when you finally venture into something new that is unfamiliar to you, you're going to go up against the roadblocks of the old patterns. The voice is going to be shouting in your head saying, check out that comfort zone because that's safer and more known to you. It's more familiar. I believe in those moments, you're not going to want to do anything else other than that. But that's where the discipline kicks in because the goal you create stays the most fresh in your mind because you review it every day. And then you go, I know where the comfort zone leads and I'm going to push myself. I'm going to love myself enough, kick my own ass because I need it to get into gear so that I can hurry up and go and achieve these things. And the more you do it, you stack the habits, you keep revisiting it, you keep doing that same process of overcoming the old voices and the old habits, the old routines and programs to the point where you are so trusting of your ability and you've got courage in your day when you wake up in the morning, knowing that you can go forward regardless of what signal comes up that tries to point you in the other direction you are done with, and you instead choose the path towards the thing that you're chasing. That's excitement in the day. And the true feeling of when you get into a low state, you get to check in with yourself and go, what haven't I done in accordance to the things that I want to do when I had the time to do it? And did I choose something else like those comfort zones, or did I go and chase that thing and maybe do one activity in the day or two, whatever it may be? When you reflect and you finally figure out, wow, I chose to scroll on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube excessively, way more than I needed. And that took away hours in the day to the point where I just missed out. Or another version, if someone works a 9 to 5, they get home, what do? Maybe just relax. They're like, I've hit my quota of things, and maybe I'll live for the weekend so I can possibly, maybe, do that thing towards my goal 1, maybe 2 days a week. What if after work every day, you just set aside a couple of hours and you smashed out some tasks, maybe learned something, studied something, created something? Each day you do that, you push the limit further so that you can keep pushing it further and further until you've created something crazy and it becomes the routine and the habit of doing that, rather than getting home, calling it a day, wasting more time. And the beauty is, after you've done that, you can still relax after. And you go to sleep like a little baby because you have given yourself that opportunity to get that little bit better every single day and not have wasted time. That sounds like a whole different ballgame to the old routine if you have been stuck in it. And I know I'm ranting a lot, but I truly believe when we accept this idea of we have so much more potential than we actually know, and it's just waiting to be found, and we only can find it through actioning the steps and doing the work itself aligned with this goal. Otherwise, we're going to be stuck stagnant and we're never going to discover it. That's the worst thing in the whole world. And I just want to wake you up a little bit to this concept of get up and do. Go and do it, achieve, so you can feel this feeling. And I know I know it because I used to feel like it was just for other people and never go and achieve these things that they want. And it can be as big or as small as you want it to be. It could be just you in your mind. You want to fix something. If it's like you want to grow some character, you got to put yourself in situations that give you those characteristics. But you'll never get it if you don't change something from your current. So it's all about routines. It's all about you in your head. It's all about recognizing old habits and learning the ones that haven't been discovered yet, as I do every day. I focus on challenging myself in new ways, figuring out through self-awareness, oh, look at that, I chose a bit of a negative version of something. But instead of sitting in the comfort, you can go forward learning about you, and people are going to go, what's happened? Have you got a haircut? That's what they say to me. Have you got a haircut? Maybe. But if I left you with a question, you can ask yourself, what would life for you be like if you stopped bullshitting these stories to yourself about your ability or what's possible for you, about how the comfort zone is justified to you in your life? How would life be if you overcome all of those things and you did the work it took towards a goal, making a goal, doing the work every day? How different would the outcome be? You need to answer that for yourself and get clear on what holds you back. And remember, if you want to feel different, it's not about just practicing the feeling. If you get up and you go and try, you'll get the feeling as a byproduct. Rehearsing feelings is actually really good, but it's even more powerful when you match it with the actions that align with it. If you want to feel amazing, courageous, strong, disciplined, a never-ending motivation because that discipline sparks motivation, do more. Do way more in your day. Figure out all of the things within you that are holding the true potential within you back and make them your reality. And I know you're going to kick ass if you do that. That's my favorite thing that I do with people. As soon as I see, and there's no one same for everybody. Everyone's got their own specifics, the things that stop them. But the moment that it's recognized and you go, well, logically, what would we do differently to overcome these limitations? You'll know pretty quick, because most of us have enough idea on what would be better. And when you go, oh, no shit, I can actually do this instead, maybe do that. That could be your entry point into this whole new life, whole new routine, and new you. And it's only that little thing that is the domino effect. And you can do that at any moment. You can do it straight after this video. You can look around and go, maybe this is it. This is where everything changes. And that sounds bloody good to me. So, definitely ranted today, but I wanted to give you something to kind of, if you were in a low or something just seems to not be working very well and you got that little bit of a negative feeling and energy around you and within yourself, let these words prompt something so that you can go and chase it. Because you can, everyone has a potential. You just got to take the different road of actions and make it happen. So game on. I give you the challenge. Figure out what it is that stops you and go after it. Once again, thank you for listening. Episode 26, The Andy Rant. I'll see you on the next one.